Hey everyone and welcome to IG8Live Esports. Today we're live with PGL F1, the Wednesday League for round 4 of 21 for the Austrian Grand Prix, and we've just gotten started with our full qualifying session. So into Q1, down about 2 minutes already off the 18-minute countdown, and we already have a few drivers currently heading out on track. Currently on their out laps, and we're going to start to see some lap times in here, maybe in about the next 2 to 3 minutes. At least the next 2 minutes or so, because it is a pretty short lap around here on Austria and the Red Bull Ring. So should be some interesting lap times as well, pretty competitive since we're going to have the full qualifying session on this go. It's going to be interesting to see how we get through each of the sessions and how many cars will be making it through. We got 19 drivers in for qualifying 1, so should prove to be quite a competitive grid. We'll see how well that's going to go through here now. And before we get further in, guys, please do remember, thank you guys for joining on, by the way, and please do remember to leave a like on the stream, and remember, if you're new on the channel here, subscribe to us to just keep an eye out for when we do other races as well. So let's get a few stats up on screen as we have it here, and so we can have a look at what's exactly happening on track there. I think everything is good now. So we're going to start to see some already, because no lap time in as yet, and we already got a few drivers now currently on their hot laps and going. So within the next minute we should be able to see, within the next 10 to 15 seconds we'll be able to see a time here from Mikey. I think his teammate is getting a time here. Jose just got a 106.9, Mikey goes 104.031, so far 1 minute 4 second fastest time we have on track. Let's see who else is going to be next to go across the line here. I think Roy has a bit of an issue there. He spun around. He might have to get back going again. Who else is currently on? We got Q Formula going. He's about to get across the line here pretty soon, and we're going to see where he goes. So I think a few more drivers have gotten out on track already, getting started on their out laps, and they're going to be getting a time in pretty soon. That is Q Formula with a 1 minute 5 second. Just about 2 tenths. Tang goes 103.6, so fastest time so far. And I think Liam just went 103.9, just about 3 tenths slower there, so that's quite an interesting time as well. We got Ace has invalidated his lap. We got Tree Slayer invalidated his lap there as well. They're going to have to go and try that one once again. We got a few more drivers, I think, currently on their laps. I think Dean here is just began his lap here. Actually, let's follow on board with him as he goes through Sector 1 here right now. So a pretty fast track here at the Red Bull Ring, and a pretty short lap as well, so it's going to be quite an interesting and very competitive race, since some of these turns are actually so interesting that it's very easy actually to lose the rear end of the car getting off of these turns, especially when you're racing and battling another car, especially in the start of the race. So I think opening lap here is going to be a little bit interesting to see how well everyone gets off through turn 1, because there definitely will be some minor contact. I don't know how major some of these contacts are going to be, but those a few cars are going to have some minor contact going through, and we might have a few cars going wide, some maybe going on the inside, but we'll see how well everyone is able to get through when we do get to that point there. Hey Matthew, I am not sure if it's going to be a dry race as yet. I haven't gotten that information off of the drivers. Can someone just post in Discord, is it going to be a dry race or a wet race? Because we would like to know on our end here what's going to be the situation when we do get to that. It does seem to be pretty dry for qualifying, so I guess it'll be that way going on through for qualifying, but I'm not sure about the race as yet. So that's dealing with a 103.9. Tang currently holds on to provisional pole for this session at least with a 103.6. Let's see how the rest of the session goes through. I think Tree Slayer's on another lap there right now. And who else we got? We got GFO Vasdell here. He's on another lap. He's on a lap as well. Oh, and Lilati goes 103.7. Not too bad. Just 1/10 off of what Tang just did. I wonder where Clarky is on track here right now. He just got started and he just invalidated that lap there as well. And Vasdell he just did a purple sector 2. So let's see how he finishes off with Sector 3 and if he's going to get within the top 3 at least here. And and Key Formula is already out of this session here. So far so good. We're getting a few times in. So Vazel goes 104.8 and 6, 106.9 for Jose, now is in 8th position. Tree Slayer goes fastest so far in the session at 103.4. Not too bad. We're getting faster and faster as we continue on through, getting more and more lap times in here. Where is Clarky? He needs to make another lap. I think he's invalidated. Yes, he has. So he'll probably, going a little bit, he's just weaving around a bit. So he'll probably be trying for another lap when he does get across the line there. Because he did invalidate the current lap that he's running on. But we'll just keep with him for just a bit to see if he's going to go on another fast lap here. This team was going a bit slow before getting across the line there, so I'm not sure. Definitely not on another lap. So let's get on to someone who's probably on a lap here. And that's Rourke. He's invalidated whatever lap he was running before. So currently Tree Slayer still holds on to the fastest time in the session at 103.4. Tang there in second, 103.6. And Little TNP 103.7. That's our three fastest drivers so far in this session. We'll see how they get through it. Some more times coming in very soon here. So into, let's see who's getting out. We got a few drivers getting back on track right now. In the pits, we still got Irish and Walker and Rossi in the pits still. You have to get out and just make some lap times in there. I think they're just maybe waiting for the track to get a bit more faster. I'm not sure. We'll see how long they take to get out here. I got Bradfield on a lap as well. He's invalidated that lap, so he's going to have to try that again. So did Rourke there, so they're definitely going to have to improve on that. We got Corey here. Corey's going purple sector 2 so far. So Corey seems to be on a pretty good lap. And Corey goes across the line, and let's see, he goes fastest in the session now with a 103.445. Gets about 400 of a second faster than what Tree Slayer did, so quite an impressive lap time from him. And Ace is a bit off track there. He's trying to get back going. We got Mr. Rage. I think he probably is on the fast lap. Definitely is. So let's see how he finishes though. About to get across sector 2 into sector 3 here, and goes gets a purple sector for sector 2. Let's see if he's able to finish the rest of the lap using that same pace and probably get himself in the top 5 at least here. So we got quite a few 103s right now, and just at least among the 104s, 105 and 106. And that's just close to about half the grid actually there. So we still need the other half of the grid to get some lap times in here before we can have an idea of what's going to happen for qualifying too. Oh, and that is him probably out of the session? No, I think he just broke off the front wing. So did make a 104.6, puts him in 9th so far. Bradfield seems to be on another lap and going here right now. We got Irish on an out lap right now. We got Clarky on an out lap. Well, we got Walker on a hot lap here. Purple sector 2 for him so far in the Renault. Let's see how he finishes this lap. So far so good. And he goes across the line, goes fastest in the session so far at 103.1, 3/10 faster than what Kohi did. So Kohi's gonna have to stick in a second at least for now. Let's see who else is gonna be running. Irish here running on a lap right now. Let's see if he's about to get a purple sector 2 or not. Just one more turn for him to get through that. And not a purple sector 2, but still could be a good lap. Let's see how he does finish on this occasion here though. He seems to be running pretty well so far. Hasn't invalidated the lap, so that's a good sign on that. Just about one corner left to go before he gets across that line. As I said before guys, it's a pretty short lap around here. And he did invalidate just on that very, very last corner. So he's going to have to be careful with that on the next go. I think he might have to get back into the pits before he's able to make another try at this again. So far we got at least 70 to 75% of the grid making lap times in. Walker currently holds fastest lap time on track, a 103.1, pretty impressive time. Let's see, we might be able to get into the 102s by the time we get into qualifying 3 here. And that is a purple sector 1 and an invalidated lap from Clarky there. So he was running pretty well until he just messed that up. Unfortunate for him, but that is how it goes sometimes when these guys are pushing this hard. So let's see. We got just about 6.5 minutes left in qualifying one right now, and it's been going great, pretty great so far. We got majority of our drivers with lap times in, and some very competitive lap times with a lot of 103s and a few 104s. And we get further down after that. Walker is now out of that session there, so he's gonna hold on to that 103.1, which definitely, since it's full of qualifying session, so definitely that's going to be getting him into the next session, which is qualifying 2. So I don't think he's going to be worried about even being out of the session. I'm not sure if he's just retired after the session or if he crashed out. But either way, it doesn't really matter at this point. He'll be getting into the next session. So will most of our top drivers there with their times. And we got just about a few drivers left to make lap times in here for this session. At least they'll try and make it through to qualifying 2 if they can. It's the idea of qualifying 1, guys. If you're not sure how this works, so just got to make it fastest time just to make sure you can make it over into qualifying 2, because we do have a full grid of 20 cars. It's usually just 15 drivers going over to qualifying 2. So with about 19 drivers in, let's see if it's going to be the same 15, or we'll probably be down to 14 drivers just going over to qualifying 2. Either way, it's either 14 or 15 going over. We'll see how much that's going to be. Going to be a bit dependent as well. Q Formula was out a bit early off in the session as well, so we'll see how that works out with the rest of the grid. So Walker and Corey, they're pretty happy with their times. They're out of the session already. 103s, 0.1 and 0.4, not too bad. I think Treesler might be trying to make another time in. We got Irish and Ace back into the pits. They're going to have to get her back and try to make some time in here. We got Bradfield and Clarkey out on track right now with out laps, trying to get the hot lap started. And we got Irish getting back out to the pits. I think we got Bradfield just began his hot lap here. He's trying at this one more time again. Let's see if he's going to get it on this go. Hopefully not an invalidated lap on his end. He's able to finish. So his teammate Irish getting out on track behind him for an out lap there right now as well. So that's for them not to get in each other's way. They have a bit of space between them and running. So let's see where Williams will be at the end of today's session. During later in the session, we'll probably go through previous results and what our current driver and constructor standings are at, or probably we'll just hold that off maybe into the race just a little bit, just in case we do have a safety car. Probably use that time to cover that a bit of information for you guys. That's a purple sector 2 so far from J. Bradfield there, and he's running pretty well so far. Let's see if he can finish maybe in the top 5 or top 6. Hopefully the top 10 for him, because that'll be much safer to actually keep himself in there. But just under 4 minutes left in this session, not a lot of time left, and really needs to get a good lap time in before the session does come to a close to make it over. And that's P8 for him, 103.869, just about 200 of a second slower than what Rourke did there in 7th, so not too bad, and about 300 of a second faster than what Dean did down there in 9th. So a pretty impressive time for him. Let's go on down to let's see, Irish. His teammate is currently on a lap and going not a proper sector 1. Let's see how sector 2 goes. He should be able to make a pretty good time in this session still. I see Liam has retired out of the session there as well. So a few drivers will be happy with the time that they currently have. They might try to make a faster time, depends on where they are on the grid right now. But I think most of our drivers are pretty happy where they are. That is if they know they're making it into qualifying 2. That's a purple sector 2 right now for an Irish. I didn't do a purple sector 1, but a purple sector 2 does guarantee that he's on a pretty good lap. And he could potentially finish within the top 5, top 3, or maybe even at least in the top 10 with the time. Let's see where he goes. He goes P4 right now, 103.489, just about 0.8 of a second slower than what Tree Slayer did. So very impressive time, very close to our top 3. And I'll say that definitely guarantees him a spot in qualifying 2. We got Ace running on track right now. Let's see if he's going to get a time in on this occasion. Doesn't invalidate, so we'll get a lap time. How good it is? It's in 17th, 105.4. No, I don't think that's going to be good enough to get him into the next session. He's going to have to improve on that if he does want to make it over to qualifying 2 here. But we'll see how that continues on with him there. Rossi currently P13 and goes up P12 right now, 103.9 as he just goes across the line there. So pretty good position so far. Does guarantee him a spot in qualifying 2 if he can actually keep it there. We'll see how that works out. Q Formula is going to move down the order just a bit with drivers making faster and faster lap times here. Mr. Rage currently in 9th right now, and I think he is off track just a bit. Yeah, we had a bit of an incident there, but currently has a pretty good lap time in here. So let's see how well that's going to hold off for him. We got Tang here. Was probably trying to run a lap, invalidated that, or just finish a lap actually, but currently in P3, 103.449. So not too bad of a time there. See if anyone is currently running a lap here. Got Clarky was trying to run a lap, but invalidated whatever he was running on there. We got Ace up to 15th right now with a 104.3. So he's improving in that Red Bull there at the moment. Currently in a very, very dangerous spot, though. He needs to get at least a few tenths more up with a better lap time than that. Currently, Scooby LQ Formula was out early off. Jose currently at 19th with a 106.2. He's in the pits. He needs to get a better time than that. I don't know if he's going to be able to improve. If he is going to even try and get back out, we're not sure as yet. You got just under a minute left in this qualifying session as we're coming to a closer Q1. And we're going to be heading straight over to Q2 with just about 14 or 15 drivers. We'll see how much are actually going to be allowed to get into that session. Majority of our top of the grid will be allowed in as they already have a pretty impressive time in there. Currently, I think majority of drivers have finished what they're currently doing. Just having a look to see what's happening. I think Rossi is trying to improve his time, trying to put himself at least into the top 10 if he can here as we're following with him. Just about 18 seconds left in the session right now for whoever is still running a lap, and that's an invalidated lap from him there. I think most of our drivers have finished whatever lap they're running on. Everyone just finishing off right now so we can close off Q1 and head straight on into qualifying 2, where it's going to be a little more interesting to see how drivers handle that session through there. And we got Mikey saying it's rain halfway. So is that rain halfway through qualifying or through the race? Because if it's in the race, it's going to be a little bit interesting to see how that works out. Alright guys, so qualifying 1 results. We got Walker taking fastest lap with a 103.138. Corey taking P2, Tang in P3. Tree Slayer goes 4th. Irish in 5th. Liam 6th. We got Little Letty in 7th. Roy 8th. Mr. Rage 9th. Jay Bradfield in 10th. Dean 11th. Rossi 12th. Mikey 13th. Clark in 14th. And Ace in 15th. Barely makes it over. Vazquez, Scooby Q Formula, and Jose not going to be into qualifying 2, so all the way up to Ace, barely makes it in there with a 104.398. Goes straight over into qualifying 2 right now, guys. So we're going to get started with that right away, and that's going to be 15 minutes long. Just about 3 minutes short on what qualifying 1 usually is, so just a few drivers less on track. So not too less of a busy track, but still a little more room for with just 15 drivers running. And we should see some drivers start to get out on track pretty early here. Let's get some data back on there so we can see what lap times are going to look like. That fastest lap at the bottom there with Mikey with his 104.031. That's just a bit of a glitch that keeps happening. So we're just going to leave that be and just ignore that for now. So our 15 minutes have already started to count down for qualifying 2. So guys, just so we remember what this is about, just qualifying 2 basically is where they still just continue to try to make the fastest time. Of course, this time they have to take their race strategy into consideration. Whatever tires they want to start the race on, they're going to have to be working with those set of tires on track, because whatever tires they do set fastest laps on, that's the set of tires they will have to start the race in. That is provided, of course, they do make it into qualifying 3 and are amongst the top 10. Anyone from 11th and onwards have a free choice of tires for the race start. So top 10 that do make it over will have to start on whatever tires they make the fastest lap on. Even if they do 3, 4, or 5 or even more laps on those tires, that's going to be a bit wasted though. So that's why they have to be a bit careful. Try not to invalidate their laps, and just try to keep it as clean as they can out there. Can do a minimum amount of lap, which is usually 1 hot lap on a set of tires, just to keep the life into the tires for the race session when we do get there. Qualifying 3 will be coming up very shortly just after this, with about 12 minutes in that session. That's going to be pretty quick, and that's it. Just work with top 10 just for them to make the fastest time and for starting positions for the race. So we'll see how that goes. We're hoping to get into the 1 minute 2 seconds into that session. We might even get that there at this point, so we'll see how that goes. We got Roy getting started with his hot lap here right now. I think he's going to be the first driver in to make a lap time, as we can see here. Majority of our other drivers are currently on their out laps. A few drivers still into the pits. They're probably going to be getting out in just a bit. We'll have a look at how that works out. And yeah, we definitely see our purple sectors off of Rourke's car here, because he is the first driver that's going to be making any sort of time in here. Okay, sorry again about that. I stepped away for a second. Have a bit of an issue with Rourke there, so he's gonna have to try that again. Let's follow on with someone else. We got Tang here currently on his hot lap going through. Let's see how he finishes with this lap. So no time in this session as yet. We're now down to about 12 minutes left here, so just about 3 minutes finished so far. Not too much of time, but yeah, still a bit of way to go in this session before you get some time, some fastest laps showing in. So currently Mikey with a 104.2. And we do expect to see some 103s here, and we're gonna turn tires on, guys, so you guys can have a look at what tires these guys have. Currently I'm on fitted, so you will see what tires they have fitted on at the moment and trying to run their laps on, so at least we'll know what tires these guys are going to be starting their race on. At least when it's about down to about 5.5 minutes, I'll turn it on to fastest. So we'll see what tires they did their fastest laps on here, so I have an idea where the top 10 are going to be starting in the race and what tires going to be starting with. So we'll need to know their starting positions when we do get to qualifying 3. So far we got Mikey a 104.2 on softs. We got 3 Slayer 104.2, 5-1, just about 500 of a second slower, sorry, on the mediums. Irish here 107.4 on the mediums. Tang a 108.4 on mediums as well. Let's go on to, where is Corey here? He's invalidated his lap. Mr. Rage running here. Let's see how he finishes on his current lap. Where he goes, he's on mediums at the moment. Actually, I'm going to just put this to best at now. So it's on best lap. Oh, and he invalidates just before the end of that lap. Got Ace running here right now. Let's see if he's able to finish this lap. And unfortunately not. He's gonna have to try that lap once again. Let's get back to Bradfield here right now. He's on another hot lap going on these tires. I think he just did a purple sector 1 there. Let's see how the rest of his lap is gonna go through. So a bit more on the nervous edge for most of these drivers for qualifying 2, guys, since you know it is a session where they have to be super careful with their tires just to avoid any extra wear on them, especially by doing an extra lap. That's a purple sector 2 now from Bradfield there. Let's see if he can finish this lap and put his car through with the fastest lap in the session here right now. And these are soft tires, so we do expect a pretty fast lap. Hopefully a really good 104 from them, or even a 103, and does do a 103.9 on those soft tires, so a pretty good lap on that. So it's going to be quite a mix of strategies with this here. Clarky loving no racing line, I see. I'm not sure what's going on there. We'll have a look at that. So he's out of the session already there. Who else is currently running? I think we got Liam. Or Liam just did a purple sector 1. I think he might have gotten a bit wide there off of that exit. Let's see how he finishes with the rest of the lap here right now. Alright, so he's about to go into sector 2 here, and goes through to sector 3. Doesn't seem to be purple on that one, but let's see how he goes. I think he did go a bit wide for that exit of that turn. so I'm not sure how well this lap is going to go for him here. Alright, so might not be the best lap for him there right now. Goes P10 down to 11 so far. Where is Walker on track right now? He's in sector 2. No, sorry, I was not on him there at the moment. Oh, he just finished sector 1. So that's a purple sector 1 for Walker so far. Let's see. So majority of our grid have gotten their lap times in. They do need to, however, improve in some aspects depending on what sort of time they've actually gotten there. And we're having a look on how that is going through right now. I had a purple, yellow flag in that sector for a second there. I think someone just slowing down. So that's a purple sector 2 now from Walker. So he seems to be on for a pretty good lap. Currently we have Dean in P1 holding the fastest lap at a 103.933, about 400 of a second faster than what Bradfield did. Currently he's in second with a 103.971. We got, and that's Walker invalidating that lap just on the final corner. So he's going to have to try that one again. And he was running on the soft. So let's see how he finishes with that. Who else is currently running on a lap here? We got Little Letty there. He's currently 10th with a 104.6. Seems to be like he's going to finish another lap here, or is he going into the pits? I can't really tell. Seems to be going into the pits. So we're going to switch off that for a bit. Irish on another out lap already. Trying to improve upon his time of a 104.6. Still on mediums and going. Let's see how he does finish with this lap here when he does get started with it though. Still has to try and improve upon that. So Walker probably going to try for another lap on those tires. I'm not sure yet. We'll see how that works out for him. Yeah, so we're only going to have the top 10 cars going over into qualifying 3 here, guys. So a bit of a conundrum for some of these drivers. Because we got Little Letty, we got Ace, Liam, Rossi, Walker, all in a danger zone of getting eliminated from qualifying 3 right now. Clarky, of course, no choice of him. He's already out of the session. So he's going to be starting right there in 15th, probably, most likely. We'll see how that works out. So we got Irish currently on his hot lap here right now. Let's see if he's going to improve on this lap from his 104.6. And remember, guys, he is doing this on the mediums. Currently, we got Tang and Koi there. They did their laps on mediums. And we can see how many laps they ran on the tires already. And they did both a 104.1 and 113 and 182. So that's not too far off from each other with 2 cars in front of them, both on the softs. Did faster laps, of course, into the 103. So we'll see how well these mediums are working on track right now. As you can see, everyone on the mediums have done basically 104s and further on. And that's a purple sector 2 currently for Irish. Irish seems to be pretty good in the sector 2, not so well in sector 1. And sector 3 does have a bit of trouble with that final turn. He needs to be very careful getting through that. And seems to have gotten through well, pretty good. Yeah, pretty good on this occasion. And let's see where he goes. Goes 7th right now, 104.252. And just literally 1/1000th of a second slower than what Tree Slayer did with his 104.251. So just goes to show how competitive these guys are actually getting. He's now down to 8 because who just went ahead. So Walker just went fastest in the session, 102.9 on the soft tires, a fresh. So not too bad in that there. So he's currently going to hold on to that, and definitely guarantees him a spot in qualifying 3. Currently every car in with a lap time, just going to have majority of our drivers trying to improve their time right now. So I'll start to get back out on track. And let's see where they're going to go. We got Liam, should be on a lap here right now. Let's see how he finishes through with this one. Getting past his teammate there, who has already done the fastest lap in the session. He's going to try to keep up with that sort of lap time right now. He's currently about 4 seconds off that time. And that's kind of like a light here in Formula 1 right now. Being 4 seconds away from where your teammate is. Currently just doing a purple sector 2 that was. Yes, it was. So seems to be on for a pretty good lap. Hopefully has a good finish on sector 3. Please don't invalidate. And because he seems to be on for a pretty good lap. It will be kind of heartbreaking for him to actually invalidate that lap right now. Makes it through pretty well onto the pit straight and goes across the line. P3 following with his team at 103.955. Not a bad time at all. Just about 200 of a second slower than what Dean did there for a second. So another 300 of a second and he would have been in second place there. So a pretty good time from Liam so far. Goes up into P3 currently for this session. So who else is currently? Is Mikey on a lap here right now? Goes across the line. P2 right now pushes them down even further now. 103.847. A very impressive time. 1/10 faster than what Dean did. Walker's retired after the session. He's good with his time. Tank probably retired as well. Probably good to 7. Little Letty goes P2 right now. 103.715. A whole 1/10 faster than what Mikey just did. So very, very impressive time. So we got a lot of soft tires making times for qualifying 2 here. Pushing themselves a little bit further up the field. We got from Tank going downwards with the mediums. So goes to show those soft tires are at least close to about a second faster than what the mediums are right now, which is generally what they're supposed to be. Soft tires here will just generally be about 1 to 1.2 seconds faster per lap around a track like this. So not too bad with what Pirelli data does provide for us. That's basically what it is. I know it's somewhere around between 1 to 1.2 seconds faster than what the mediums can do, and I think the mediums are just about the same time, about 1.2 to 1.3 or 4 seconds faster than what the hards usually do around here. But we'll see how that works out for whoever is going to run on the hards during the race session there. We're following with Bradfield here right now. I think he's trying to do another lap here at the moment. We'll see how this works out for him. We got just under 2 minutes left in this qualifying session right now, guys. We're on qualifying 2. We're about to get into qualifying 3 very, very shortly with top 10 drivers. Currently Irish and Prix in a very dangerous zone there right now. Of course, we got quite a few more drivers on the bottom still in the session, so they still do stand a chance of getting eliminated out of this session. We're following on with Mr. Rage there in 11th right now, 104.405, and let's see if he goes faster in this instant for this lap here. Currently seems to be, oh no, definitely will not be going faster. Goes at 107.136, so a much slower lap there. Ace on lap invalidated that lap. Rourke here currently seems to be on a lap and going. We're going to follow with him as he does finish this lap. Rossi there has a 118.8, a very, very bad lap I think he had, and I think he's just improved actually. Just went P3 now, 103.7, now down to P4. Bradfield goes second now, 103.6. Walker's 102.9 is still holding up as fastest lap in the session so far. So quite a few more drivers have moved up. Irish down into 11. Mr. Rage down to 12. Ace down to 13. He's out of the session. So Ace and Clarky definitely not making it over to qualifying 3. And Roik in a very dangerous spot. So we got Roik, Mr. Rage, and Irish need to get out of that danger zone that they're in there right now. And we're currently following on with Rourke here at the moment. I don't think he's making a faster lap. He's just invalidated his current lap, so he's put himself in a very dangerous spot there. And that's going to be him out of the session as well for the next qualifying session, because I don't think he'll be able to make it in with the time that he has left. He won't be able to make another lap. And as he did invalidate just at the end of that lap. Looks like Mr. Rage might not be able to make another lap as well. Irish just went P5 with a 103.7, puts himself on P5, guarantees himself a spot in qualifying 3 right now. It's now Corey and a Tree Slayer in the very dangerous spot, because Mr. Rage doesn't look like he's making another lap. We got Tree Slayer here, he seems to be on a lap right now. Corey invalidated his lap, so he's out of that. Well, he's going to be out of it if he doesn't stay there in P10. So Tree Slayer is and he just did a proper sector too. So Tree Slayer is on for a pretty good lap. He just needs to finish this lap and do better than a 104.182 to stay in that session. I don't think he's finishing the lap though. I don't know if he's out of fuel or if he's trying to go slow. I don't know what's happening here, but it does seem to be going a bit slow, and he's not going to finish, which looks like Cohees might be making it into qualifying 3 if that does continue on. In that case there then, because I think that's it for this session. I don't think anyone else is running besides Irish here, and he's already made his lap, so that's going to be it for them there, guys. So I don't think anyone else is going to be able to make a faster lap in this session. That is Rourke into the pits there as well. And I think that's the end of our qualifying 2 session there, guys. I think everyone just needs to retire off of the session, and we're going to get straight into qualifying 3 and just go through. So it looks like we're going to have Tree Slayer, Mr. Rage, Ace, Rourke, and Clarky out of qualifying 3 on our top 10. We're going to go through that confirmed list in just a bit here. And if it is going to race, if it's going to be a race with just a bit of rain in it, it's going to be quite an interesting 50% race when we do get to that in just a bit, guys. So we got one more qualifying session to go, and it's going to be the best of the best, because we'll see some very, very fast lap times. I expect to see a lot more 102s in that session, not just one that Walker had there, but he did do a pretty good lap on those softs for this session here. And we're just waiting for this session to come to a complete end. I think Koi is the only driver who needs to retire off the session, and there we go. So that's the end of it. So let's see what we got going here. So Walker with the fastest lap in this session, a 102.963. Bradfield goes with the second fastest lap. Lidletti there in third. Rossi fourth. Irish goes fifth. Mikey in sixth. Dean goes seventh. We got Liam in eighth. Tang goes ninth. And Kohi there, he goes 10th. So only 2 drivers are going to be starting on the mediums for this race, guys. For top 10 at least. That's going to be Tang and Kohi there. Everyone else is going to be on the soft tires. So quite different range of strategies we're going to have there with these 2 drivers in. They're going to be running a much longer stint, and we'll see what their starting positions are going to be when we do get to the end of qualifying 3, which we're about to get started with in just about 5 seconds time. So let's head on over to that session, and we're going to see how this race session plays out with that bit of rain that we're expecting to have in it. So going to be a bit of a change as well, because it does depend on what setup these guys are running. If the setup is going to be for a fully dry race, a fully wet race, or just to be able to handle a bit of both. And those already seem to be getting a bit cloudy as we're in qualifying 3 right now. A 12-minute start to go, counting down. And let's get back a lap later on so we can see what's going on here. And we're going to have cars start to get out on track pretty quickly, just in case it starts to rain down to the end of this session, which means track temperature will drop drastically, and they will not be able to make a fast lap as they normally would. Make a fastest lap as they normally would try to do. So it's going to be a bit of a disadvantage. I expect everyone would start to get out on track. And there goes the Renault already start to getting on. Both of them getting out at the same time with a McLaren just behind. Let's see who else is going to get out in front. So probably Walker out in front. Let's see. No, I got to be his teammate out is first there right now. Looks like little Etty might be disconnected off of the session there. Okay, guys, so already down to just about 11 minutes. 1 minute already up in the session. So 12 minutes it does goes by pretty quickly for qualifying 3. So guys have to get a move on it and try to get a lap time in as soon as possible. And with the conditions on tracks as it seems right now, does seem to already to be getting cloudy, so just in case there's going to be a spot of rain at the end of this session, you guys are going to want to get the lap times in as quickly as possible just to get an advantage of getting the fastest lap in the session and trying to get a pretty good start here. It is going to be a wet race here, and let's see how well this is going to go on the race start. So I'm not sure if it's going to be raining when we do get started with the race, guys, or if it's going to rain a little later in the race session. But we'll see how that rain plays out, especially for the drivers in the session here. So we'll be seeing some lap times coming in here pretty quickly. So we got a few drivers on their hot laps here right now. So we'll have a look. I think Walker might be the first in this instance to get a lap time in. Let's have a look with him because his teammate went back into the pits. So they'll be doing at least maybe 2 or maybe 3 rounds of laps here before the end of the session, depending on how their first try goes at this. And we got Walker getting around the final corner right now. Did not invalidate. Good note on him. And let's see, goes 103.1, very close of getting into the 102s. Definitely you will have to try that again. Tang goes 103.126. So that's just about 600 of a second slower, faster, sorry, than what Walker did. Irish there with a 103.5. Track temperature is probably a bit lower, which is why we're not getting to the 102s right now, I assume, since it's very cloudy out. So I think that's dropped it a bit. Let's see who currently else is running. We got Bradfield about to go across the line here right now. Comes around the final corner, back onto that pit straight. And let's see where he goes. If he goes faster than his teammate Irish there. 103.587, just 300 of a second time difference between the two Williams there right now. Let's see who else is going to get a time in here. Mikey goes 104.5. We got Corey going 103.071, getting closer to that 102 gap. And let's see how much time we need before we get there. Maybe the second round of laps we might be able to get into that. We'll have a look if that's actually going to work out or not. But does seem to be quite close between most of our drivers so far. I think track conditions with temperature, track temperature is a little bit different right now in this session because it's just getting very, very cloudy. So definitely going to affect the performance of cars out on track, which kind of might explain why I'm not seeing 102s here as yet. We did expect to see a lot of 102s in this session. It was pretty sunny out in qualifying 1 and qualifying 2. Yeah, just in this session started to get these conditions here, so we'll see how that works out. We got Little Letty just getting started with his hot lap here on the next instant here. So we got our drivers who have made lap times already. They're back into the pits already, except for Rossi there. So Rossi just went 103.7, so he's on another out lap already, getting back out. So not wasting any time right now. Does want to do about 3 hot laps here before he gets finished with this session. And so far so good from Little Letty there. He just did a purple sector 1, currently heading to end off sector 2. So let's see how well that sector is going to be, if it's going to be purple as well. Seems to be on for a pretty good lap. Everyone definitely running on soft tires in this session here to oh, that's not a purple sector 2, but still could be a pretty good lap here. Let's see how he does finish. I think Irish is a driver that's actually pretty good in sector 2. Always seems to get that sector very purple. Comes around pretty well on the final corner. Seems to be a bit lagging a bit. I think that's P4 currently for Little Letty with a 103.525, 300 of a second faster than what Irish did. And honestly, I just thought I saw a bit of drizzle. Not sure if that was drizzle or I'm just seeing things right now, but could have been. I think Liam is the only driver left to make a lap time in here, and everyone's going to have to get a hurry on. If I actually did saw a little bit of drizzle for a second, I'm not sure. We'll see how that's working out. I think a few drivers are getting back out on track already to make some more better lap times in and try to improve their time. Currently, Koi holds on to a provisional pole start here for the Austrian Grand Prix, and let's see if he's going to be able to keep that. We got Liam going behind his teammate Walker there with a 103.465. That's about 3 tenths slower than his teammate, so not too bad so far. I think now we got a few drivers on their second hot laps going through. So I think Walker and Tang both on that situation here right now. Currently we're following on with... Oh, you're kidding me right now. And we have a disconnection. And it seems we have an error as well. Alright guys, give me a second. Let me see if I'm going to be able to get back on or not.